Okay, we'll get started with an opening statement from Coach Joe. Once you have a question, just put in the chat like normal, and I will unmute your line. Coach Joe, whenever you're ready.
All right, guys, tell the truth Monday. We spent all day yesterday analyzing the film. The truth is we got to coach better. Got to start with me. Got to prepare our team better. Got to coach our coaches better. We got to execute better. We got to make better in-game adjustments during the game, during halftime. We could have had a better plan on both sides of the football first game. One of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to talk about stance, alignment, assignment. Get back to fundamentals, get back to playing the LSU standard of performance, which was not there Saturday night. And I'll take all the responsibility, but we're going to get it fixed and get going. I believe in this coaching staff. I believe in this team. I know they're hurting today, but I know that we're going to come back and have a great practice. On defense, they had 383 yards after the catch. Obviously, that's tackling, that's assignments, too many guys running free. We got to work on our coverage. We had some mistakes in our coverage and leverage and technique and assignments. Some of the positives, we had 5 sacks. We caused 4 turnovers, and we scored on defense. That was very positive. I thought the pressure on the quarterback was there at times. It could get better. On offense, we got to protect the quarterback better. We gave up 7 sacks. Some of that was scheme. Some of that was technique. And we got to protect the quarterback better, and then we got to make better decisions in the pocket. We had some guys open. We didn't hit them. We could have stood up in the pocket and made decisions. I think that's going to come with more experience and with Miles. We got to eliminate the drops. We had too many drops, especially at the beginning of the game. We had some critical drops that hurt our drives, and we got to run the ball better. On special teams, I thought we played very well on special teams. 49.5 yards per punt, 5 inside the 20, 2 for 2 in field goals, 7 kicks to all touchbacks. I'm looking forward to today. I'm looking forward to seeing the team. I'm looking forward to coaches identifying the things that we can do better, coming up with solutions, and have a great day of practice. On the Vanderbilt, Derek Mason has done an outstanding job. He's an outstanding coach. I have a lot of respect for him. He's an outstanding defensive coach at Stanford. I know Derek very well. Kenichi Udezi's on that staff. They have his defensive line playing very well, and I thought they played pretty darn good against their defense played pretty good against Texas A&M. We +2 in the turnover ratio. They +1. They have what we call a pro spread on offense, 4 returning starters. They only had 12 points against A&M. Ken Seals is their quarterback. Amir Abdul-Raham is a long and rangy receiver, pretty good athlete. On defense, I think is what their strong point is right now. They have an excellent defensive line in Dale. Dale's one of the top players that we've seen. He had 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, quarterback hurry against Texas A&M, and Andre Mintz, defensive end. I think their defensive line is very good at Vanderbilt. But this is going to be about us. This is about this week, about us getting back on the winning track, about playing LSU standard performance. Any questions?
Hey, Ed, good afternoon. Can you give us an update on Derek Stingley, Glenn Logan, and to whatever degree you can, what happened with Derek on Friday?
Yeah, I think Derek's going to be back. I talked to Jack. We're waiting for all the medical exams to clear, but I expect him back as early as maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. Glenn Logan will not be available for this week, and he will be available for Missouri.
Hey, Coach. Good morning. Jacques from Channel 9. Taking a look at the running back rotation, how do you think that worked out? And is it, I know you want to work all 3 guys in, but is it kind of a debate to get a guy warm and get him going?
Yeah, that's what we want to do. Obviously, Chris is our lead back right now, in my opinion, but Tyron and John, I thought John did some good stuff on short yardage. I mean, you would think that Chris and Tyron would be there in short yardage, but Kevin played him in short yardage. He had some good runs. So I'm pleased with our backs. I think we need to run the football more, get them more carries, and get them more touches out the backfield. They didn't catch the ball enough out the backfield.
you mentioned about on Saturday that maybe you guys would need to play more zone. I know you said Derek Stingley may be back here. I mean, after watching the tape, what prevented some of those in-game adjustments there, and do you expect any changes against Vanderbilt there?
Yeah, all those are Bo's decisions. We talked about it, and they were hitting us on some pick routes, some over routes. Some of it was scheme. Some of it, there's some kind of adjustments that we can do, not necessarily play zone, but you can do some adjustments in man, passing guys off, not passing guys off. We may do that, we may do that, may not do that. It all depends. Having Derek not there really hurt us, obviously, but I'm glad that he's healthy. His safety is of foremost importance to us, so I'm glad that he's healthy and he's okay. Number one, Jay Ward was out for practice 2 weeks. We didn't even know he could play. He played a lot of snaps. I thought he did a fairly good job, but obviously was a little rusty there. So I think there's some combination of things. We were short on corners. Not having Derek hurt us. We had a game plan that we were going to play man and man them up, and we thought we could man up with the receivers. We should have made a couple of more adjustments during the game.
Hey, Ed Wilson, I was in for the Advocate. You were talking a little bit about the pass rush. Ali Gay seemed to step in well in that regard. Did you liked his range, but did you anticipate that kind of performance from him in his first SEC game?
We have seen it in practice, and Ali came and just started making improvement every day. And I remember during the COVID, he didn't go home at all. He stayed here and learned and studied and worked out on his own. And we just saw in camp, he just kept on coming and coming and coming. And I didn't know he was going to have that type of game. I thought he had an excellent game. He beat that tackle pretty good. He had a lot of pressures, some batted balls. He's tall. He played the run very well. I think he's going to have an excellent year for us.
Coach, you mentioned on Saturday how, after the game, the next couple of days are going to be pretty important for you guys in terms of leadership and trying to move on to the next game. I'm wondering if you can kind of take us inside those meetings yesterday and today and just kind of how the team is responding after, your first loss really in 2 years.
Yeah. First of all, stick together, don't panic, and believe in each other. That's number one. That comes from me. And we're not going to change anything drastic, but you know what? We got to tighten up on some stuff. We got to play with more energy. We got to play with more desire. We got to make plays. We got to coach better. All those things that slip up on you when you're winning. Hey, the championship's over, and and this is a new season, a new team. We knew that, but now definitely we know that. Hopefully, our guys can start from day one today. Focus at one game at a time at Vanderbilt. Here's my job: to get this team as well as we possibly can, and to play at the LSU standard performance. And obviously Saturday night was a big disappointment to me and everybody else, and I understand that.
Yeah, to kind of bounce off that, it's your first post-game week with Bo Pelini, I guess. What has he been like these past 48 hours and with that coaching staff?
Been fantastic. He was the first guy to come see me in my dressing room. First guy. I said, Coach, I should have done a better job. And he was hurting just like everybody else. And we went over the film, and he saw the things that he did well, saw the things that we must and will improve. He's been fantastic today. He's eager. He's an outstanding coach. He's hurt just like everybody else.
Coach, the offense, of course, it found the rhythm in the second half, but Terrace Marshall seemed like he picked up the pace that he was from last season. Is there, you think, an ongoing connection him and Brennan will be able to maintain this season?
Yeah, I hope so, man. I like the long ball. I thought Brennan threw the long ball very well. Now, he missed a couple down the pipe there, but I thought he threw the long ball very well. That catch that Terrace made was outstanding. The skinny post was really good. One of Steve's strengths is taking shots. And one of Miles' strengths is his arm strength, throwing the football. But Terrence is an excellent receiver. Now, he dropped the ball or two. He made some mistakes. On a screen one time, he was supposed to block out. He had a mental error. So I know he knows that he can do better. But hopefully those guys can have a big-time connection throughout the year.
And Michael Calvin at WBRZ. I was looking at the depth chart, and in the secondary, it's mostly sophomores, or less. Mm-hmm. Is this maybe something that kind of, again, we have to get used to with the roster that this year's team has?
Yeah. You know what happens is our our corners are 3 and out here. I mean, most of our guys go 3 and out. We have a lot of young guys. A lot of young guys played for the first time. And, you know, there was a lot of one-on-one situations. You got to give credit. Mississippi State's receivers came to play. Their quarterback was on fire. Coach had a great scheme, put our guys in some difficult situations. And sometimes they did it, sometimes they didn't. And when they didn't, it was touchdown. You know, one of the things that we got to get better is on third down. You know, third down and 20, they get a first down on us. So, you know, we got to stop them. There are some third downs where they made some touchdowns on us. So those young guys, they're going to grow up, but that's who we have. We believe in those guys. Cordell Flott had an excellent camp. He did some good things in the game, did some things he got to improve on. I think you're going to see a better Jay Ward now that he's healthy and practicing.
Hey, Coach Joe, Garland Gill on Fox 8 New Orleans. I gather you don't have to do much motivating to the kids this week. It seems like everybody is now doubting them. You know, talking about last year as a 1 year kind of flash in the pan. What do you say to the kids when they come into practice today? Because everybody now, you know, is saying LSU is going to be down this year. Their defense is not up to par right now. What is that going to be like for you?
You know, block out the noise. You know, my Twitter machine's off. You know, I hate to say it, Garner. I don't get Fox 8 in Baton Rouge. I ain't watching you no more. Hey, I just got to focus in on the task at hand. Look, the game's over. The season last year is over. Whether they say 1 year, wonder, whatever, that don't bother me. I don't care. This is about our football team. And you know what? It's kind of good to batten down the hatches a little bit, tighten it down, turn the Twitter machine off, and really focus in on beating Vanderbilt. And that's all we can do right now, and that's going to be the focus of our football team. The one thing I want our team to understand, now I told them in the locker room, when you win, I give you the credit. When we don't win, I take it. But it's my job to fix it. And I guarantee you this week, we're going to start fixing it.
Yeah, this is Adam Sparks of the Tennessean in Nashville. Coach, fans are not permitted to attend Vanderbilt home games this year because of COVID, only team in the conference. Have you mentioned that to your team, that this stadium is going to be completely empty, and do you have any concerns that'll take away the edge of the game?
No, you know, obviously, Adam, I love to have fans in there. I love to have Tiger Stadium full. I think it'll be a big-time advantage for us. I want to praise the fans that were there. They got loud at the end, and I could hear them. I'm sure that the Vanderbilt fans are disappointed that they can't go, but you know what? It's what we got to deal in. I haven't talked to it's what we got to deal with. I have not talked to the team yet, even about last week's game, but during the week, I will talk to them about there will be no fans there, but we got to create our own energy. Mississippi State created their energy. We got to create our own energy.
Ed, after the game, Miles said that they were dropping back and taking away his quick throws and taking away his lanes. And as part of that, too, on the handoffs, he never kept. Do you think what can you do to adjust there to make that work better?
Yeah, first of all, I think, Miles is exactly right. They were dropping in the short windows. They figured that we were going to throw the ball short, easy throws. To be able to get him comfortable. So I thought they had a really good scheme on defense. Now, we got to make better adjustments. I mean, we got to spread them out, make better adjustments, especially when we look over. We stop at the line of scrimmage, and we look over, and we know the defense is in. We got to make better adjustments right there. Number one, I think that he needs to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker, a little bit hesitant in the pocket, stay in the pocket a little bit more, have better pocket presence, and make better decisions. I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah, Ed, some of your new guys, how do you think they played? I mean, Eric Gilbert and Jabril Cox.
Yeah, I thought they played great. You know, Eric made some mistakes. You know, he dropped the first one. I talked to him yesterday. He was nervous, but that play he made in the end zone was phenomenal. And we got to target him more. I thought Jabril Cox, for the most part, had a very productive game. You know, getting that interception for the touchdown, running around, making plays, very active. But again, assignment-wise, gap responsibility-wise, there's some things you can get better at. I thought both of those guys played pretty good. I thought Elias Ricks did some good things, getting the pick. He played some good things, but there's some things that he got to get better at. Typical first game.
Ed, you talked about wanting the running backs to touch the ball more. Are you pleased though overall with the kind of rotation you went with? Is there anyone who maybe, from what you go back to look at the film, kind of shined a little more to make you say he needs to get the more carries than some of the other guys?
Yeah, not yet. Chris had a good game. John had a good game. Tyron's a really good back. There are some things that all three of them do. We feel that. I just think we need to get the running game going more. I like to run more first down. Let's get some positive yards. Let's get in the 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, where it can make some good decisions. But they'll run stunning, and they were running bare, and they were blitzing that guy through. We got to get a better plan, and we got to pick these guys up. There was too much penetration.
Hey, Coach. Mike Scarborough, Tiger Bait. If we could have heard you and Coach Pelini are both similar, your fiery nature. If we could have been a fly on the wall listening to him in the last few days, in team meetings and coaches meetings, what's he been like compared to you? I'm sure y'all are similar. Oh. And Alec Gay, his ceiling performed very well on Saturday. A lot of people thought he was raw when you signed him, but he looked outstanding on Saturday.
Yeah, Bo gave great speeches on Friday night. He handles the defense. He's very emotional. He's been a head coach. He knows how to talk to the football team. He had the guys motivated. He's been very, I want to say, not apologetic, not humble, but just, hey, you know what? Hey, I could have done better, Coach. Very loyal. It's hurt that he didn't do better, hurt that the defense didn't do better, just like we all are. But, I told him, hey, put it on me. We're going to get it fixed. Now, Ali Gay, like I said, Ali was wrong when he came here. I got to give Bill Bush credit. He recruited him just like he recruited Joe Burrow, and he believed that he could play. Bill Johnson went and watched him, and I think it was one of Bill's first days. It might have been like 20 degrees up there or 10 degrees. It was cold as heck, but Bill came back and said, Ali runs well, let's take him. And Ali just came and worked hard. I think he is going to be a high pick, first, second, third round pick. He's going to play in the NFL. He's got the size. Hopefully he stays for 2 years. Don't get too good.
Hey, Coach. Bree Andrews from LSU Tiger TV. So you said that, y'all have to create your own energy, especially with the loss of fans at the Vanderbilt game this week. Do you think this loss, having it be such a, hurts this team, such a letdown after the great season we had last year, do you think this will kind of put a fire under this team to create their own energy to kind of build them up for this game coming up this weekend?
Hey, can I get you to talk to my team today? I love it. Nice job. It should. It puts a fire in me, I guarantee you that. And we're going to have a fire. And this is a big game for us. And we'll take it one at a time. And we're going to play with some fire. We're going to play with some energy. And that energy was not there for some reason. For some reason or another, it wasn't there. And that's up to me to get that done. I'm going to have to take my mask off a little bit more to scream. I felt like I was a little muzzled in my mask there.
Hey, Coach, this is Shay Dixon with 24/7. What's Miles' mental makeup been just the past couple of days after he watched the film and had time to digest it?
Going to get better. See where he made his mistakes. That's Miles. Miles is humble. But he made some good throws, though. But he was inconsistent. And obviously we got to protect him. When Miles feels a little pressure, he wants to scramble outside. He's got to sit in there. But, sometimes he can't. I mean, he's trying to avoid it. So I think it all comes to the protection first. Easy throws where he can make decisions. Put our playmakers in space. Let them make plays, throw them the ball, and take shots. And once we get in that rhythm, we're going to be fine.
Coach, if Derek comes back today or tomorrow or Wednesday, you think you'll be able to play him, or does his illness make you, more cautious than an injury or something?
I'm hoping he can play, Glenn. It obviously makes a difference on our team. We need that. It's a position of need. We're very short there, but we're always going to put his health first. I'm going to listen to the doctors. I'm going to talk to his mom and daddy. If the doctors say he can play, and Derek says he can play, and his mom and daddy says it's okay, he's going to play. If not, he won't. But I expect him to play. I expect him maybe to be back in practice as early as tomorrow, but we'll see.
Coach, of the things that went wrong Saturday, which one surprised you the most?
The yards passing and yards after the catch. I've seen an outstanding defense in camp, and we had pressure on the quarterback, but the bust, the wheel route going 75 yards down the field, the crossing routes, us playing behind the crossing routes, the third down, those things really surprised me because we were excellent in camp against our offense. So I was surprised that they gained that many yards on us.
Yeah, you were talking about Miles a couple of times there. With his time in the pocket and decisions, is it I don't know, is it working through the levels of the open receivers? It seems like this was something that Joe Burrow went through as well as the offense here. I mean, could you tell us a little bit about maybe some of the decisions that he's working through whenever he's in the pocket?
Well, Miles knows what he's looking at. There's no question, okay? But it's a matter of making a decision. And what Joe did and made a decision quick and let go of the ball quick. I think he has to let go of the ball quicker. I think he has to learn how to avoid the rush instead of going outside, stepping up in the pocket like Drew Brees does. Be patient and let his receivers come open. And when he does see a receiver open, pull the trigger and throw the ball. I mean, just like any great quarterback would.
Ed, Saturday was obviously the passing yards were an outlier, but I was just curious if you or anybody on the staff and talking about it had been in a game quite like that, where you put up 400 yards, you create 4 turnovers, you get a defensive score, time of possession first. I mean, so many of the things that you point to and say you have to do these things well to win, you did, but you didn't. I mean, can you or anybody on the staff remember a time where you went through a game like that here or elsewhere?
We're talking about that today. No, I haven't seen it. And it was the breakdown of the passing game on defense. And that's what it was, and one-on-ones and missed assignments, and they had a good scheme. And we should have made some better adjustments throughout there. And, and we all know having Derek not there really hurt us. I mean, Derek is a force. He's a great player, and our guys not being healthy, I'm not making any excuses for him, but that really hurt us. And that gives me hope for this football team. I think that when we get Derek back and we get our guys healthy, we're going to be fine.
We have time for 2 more. We'll go Brody and then Glenn.
And obviously, for years the battle with LSU was getting to a more pass-heavy, balanced offense, and you guys have obviously done it. But it seemed like Saturday in the second half, there was a bit of a movement to try to run the ball more. It seemed like, so I guess what is that balance and kind of what is the philosophy right now at LSU?
Yeah, we want to be 50-50. And we were close to it. I think there was 46-38, something like that. We were very close to it. But, we came out the second half. We need to establish the line of scrimmage. And you can't drop back pass every time and not run, especially with the 3 great running backs that we have, and the fourth one, I think, Covante Bradford. But we got to have to run the ball. We have to be 50-50. Last year we ran the ball very well. We had one running play last year. We had inside zone. But you know what? Clyde made everybody miss, and he wouldn't make plays. This is a different year. And not to say that we don't have that running back, but we have to find things that this year that this team does well.
Hey, Coach, I guess I'll get in one Vanderbilt question to kind of close this thing off. I mean, I guess, they took, Texas A&M to pretty great lengths on Saturday. I was just curious what the early scouting report has been on them and just kind of how you guys are preparing for that game because they really weren't on your schedule to prepare for.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Coach Mason is an excellent defensive guy. I've known him for a while. I used to study his stuff at Stanford. Kenichi Udeze, who coached the defensive line with me, who played defensive line, is now coaching their defensive line. And those guys are playing lights out. They're playing great technique. They're playing great defense. They have 2 of the best defensive linemen. One of them, one of the best linemen in the conference. They can rush the passer. So I think that's their strength.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.